Do 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 do. Today, right now, on RetroGeeksLive.com, your Star Trek Beyond, baby, geek review. Here we go.
We just went to go see it, so
we just went. My boy Al, my fellow retro geek, he took me today, so thank you again.
No problem.
All right. So we're going to get started right away, man. This is a full-on review of Star Trek Beyond, and man, just straight up, no spoilers quite yet, okay? But we loved it.
It was awesome.
Dude, I'm not even going to ask you if you loved it, because I know you loved it. I loved it. It was what?
The best.
Yeah, it was good, man.
It was probably even a little better than the first one.
How about matching with Wrath of Khan? I mean, right now, coming out of it,
different.
It's different, but I'm like right there, man. I'm like it. Right now, I feel like it was better.
Yeah.
Right now, but
I don't know if it's going to stand the test of time like Wrath of Khan.
Yeah, I mean, we're excited. We just got out of it, and we're playing with our
little toys.
Yeah. Woohoo! We want to start doing toy reviews too, so get ready for that. Anyway, Star Trek Beyond, man, we loved it. It was directed by Justin Lin, who did the
Fast and the Furious.
The Fast and the Furious movies, some of them, or all of them.
No, some of them. Some of the last ones. I believe 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, and I didn't know this going into the movie, but it was co-written by Simon Pegg, who plays Scotty.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
And there was a lot. He's a pretty good comedian. There was a lot of comedy in.
Oh man, It a lot of the comedy made the movie for me.
Yes.
A little extra better. So let's go into the review. Coming up with some spoilers. So you should have seen it already. If not, then
if not, you're not a Trekkie, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So we start the movie, and we went, and it was sold out on a Sunday afternoon, and the movie starts out, and Kirk's on the planet, I guess, and he's trying to offer a peace treaty from another civilization to this other civilization, and it's what is it? Some type of artifact that was
it used to be a weapon or something, and it was a peace offering that he had.
Yeah, it was an old weapon, and he opens it up, and it doesn't do anything. and these big guys, right? Those big monster guys, they're like, "What's up with that, man? They ain't doing nothing. We don't want that." These other guys that you're trying to offer a peace treaty from, man, they're pretty bogus, man. They're not cool. They try to kill us and stuff. And then what they do, man?
Oh, they attack Kirk, obviously.
Yeah, they attack Kirk, and these guys look pretty big, but they come jumping down, rolling down, and then what happens, man? I mean,
they look like little chihuahuas.
Yeah, it's a bunch of little chihuahuas attacking, basically. Man, I mean that right off the bat, man, it's like a funny moment, man.
And then that's all we're going to tell you as far as the movie's concerned, because I think they have to go see it.
They have to go see it. That's right, and then we go into Yorktown.
Well, yeah, there's this kind of like civilization that they're doing, some colony in space close to a nebula, and I guess they have families living there. They had Sulu's daughter and partner living there, and they had like kids and schools and stuff, and you could tell it was a total civilization, and they're right in the middle of space. It was interesting. It was very interesting to see. It was huge, like a planet type.
The effects of it were awesome.
Yes.
When you're flying around this Yorktown, it's kind of like a Death Star, but you got a actual environment inside of it.
Yeah, with an atmosphere.
Yeah, atmosphere and everything.
Yeah, it was very, very, very well done. And also, you know what I loved about it the most of Star Trek? This one is all the references to the old one.
There were a lot of references to the old one. I mean, the whole Spock thing was pretty huge. I mean, there was one of the main things about the movie, and kind of not the main story, but it played a major part in the overlapping story.
Yeah, and also they pay a lot of tribute to actual Leonard Nimoy, who passed away last year. And, obviously in the end of the movie also they pay a tribute to Anton Jeltsin, who died a few weeks ago, in a tragic accident at his home. And, they basically, I think that what they did with the whole Spock thing is basically they honored the past, and they closed the book, kind of. That's how I felt.
Yeah, especially at the end of the movie with that one thing that happens.
Yeah. I think they.
Are we not going spoilers?
I don't want to. You know what? I don't think it's fair to go. It's only been out for like 3 days.
Yeah, I know.
I know you're dying to give us spoilers. I'm not against giving you guys spoilers. So if you want any spoilers or anything, or you don't want to go see the movie, just email this guy and he'll tell you the whole movie.
Yeah, no problem there. Yeah, the tribute to Spock and closing the book on the old Star Trek was kind of there. I did forget to mention Anton Yelkin and his tragic death. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Especially since he's a good Chekhov, because the old Chekhov never really did much. I loved his accent. He did that Russian accent perfectly. Well, because he was Russian.
Yeah. And let's talk about the actors. I mean, this is something that I've mentioned to you before, Al. And the thing that makes the new Star Trek is the casting, man. Going back from the start, man. All the actors just are on point, man.
Yeah.
From Kirk to Spock, and
if you think about it, Chris Pine does not really look like William Shatner, but you see him and it's William Shatner.
The little man, he has those little mannerisms where he really pulls it off.
And Zachary Quinto, obviously, he's great because of the way he acts, and also because of the makeup and everything. But Carl Urban, Bones, okay,
dude.
Now that guy, he does not look anything like the real Bones. But you see him and it's Bones, and he just has the act 100%. He's awesome. He's probably the best actor they have on Star Trek.
I have to agree with you. I think he definitely makes the movie. Actually, what really the highlight of the movie for me was him and Spock interacting. Their interaction throughout the movie, really they've interacted in the first two quite a bit, but they really pulled it off here, and it was hilarious.
Yes.
It was just
like in the TV show.
Just like in the TV show, even more so. I would just say that Urban, to me, in certain points, he really looks like McCoy a little bit. A much younger version, of course, but there are certain points where he looks like McCoy to me.
Well, he's a little too fat to be McCoy.
Okay,
but he's.
I think he's a little too young, but there's times when he looks like McCoy.
No, it's just that McCoy just always looked old.
And but yeah, those two played off with each other perfectly.
And also, I have to say that even though I am on the right side of the political spectrum, I had no issue whatsoever with the Sulu being engaged. I thought it was done okay. It was done right. Fine. I don't care. It wasn't really part of the story because I really didn't see why his family had to be in it's almost like his family was in Yorktown because of that.
Yeah.
But
it's to me it did seem forced. I mean, I don't really care either way, but to me it did seem forced. It seemed like there was a little I don't want to say agenda behind it, but I think they were trying to pay tribute to George Takei, and he never asked for it.
And and really he didn't want it. But like I said, I think that if they had to do it, I think it was fine. It didn't bother me.
It didn't affect the film.
No.
I'll put it to you that way.
Yeah, it was obvious that they were doing it for a reason. But, because nobody else had family in that, anybody from the Enterprise had family there. It was apparently why they put him there just to push that. But that's okay. I mean, it didn't bother me at all.
And it's Frank Cho, right, that plays him?
John Cho.
John Cho. John Cho, man, he's awesome.
he's better than the old Sulu.
He's a badass too. Like he won't put up with no crap, man.
Yeah.
The big bad guy was in his face, and he wasn't putting up with it, man. He He pulls it off great. And not only did Simon Pegg co-write this, but man, Scotty, man, he is Scotty all the way.
Yeah.
And he pulls it off great. I mean, I want him to gain some pounds though, man. I want him to drink some more beers and eat some more.
He needs to gain a few pounds, and he also needs to grow a few inches. Because, the real Scotty was a pretty big guy. He was actually he was one of the soldiers that went went down to the beaches in Normandy.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He actually took 6 bullets.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know that. You learn something new every time you watch Retro Geeks Live.com. That's right. I didn't know that, man.
Yeah.
Do you remember from, I think it was in the Trekkies movie where the story about him receiving the notice about the girl that wanted to commit suicide?
Which one?
So he it's a kind of famous story. He got this letter, a fan letter, and said,
Oh, I think I heard something about it. I didn't know that was
James Dugan, he was such a sweetheart. He wrote back and he said, this girl wanted to commit suicide. She was living basically just to watch Star Trek, kind of. And Dugan said, you stick with me. I'm going to be at a convention near you. And this is back when the conventions were.
Well, just think of it.
Very small.
He's been gone for a long time already. He's been gone since like 2008, I believe he passed away, and he stopped doing conventions. Like 2 or 3 years before that. So it's at least a decade ago. Has to be.
Oh yeah, I mean this was a while ago.
Yeah.
And he made it to that convention, and as far as I know, that he helped keep that woman have hope and stay alive and stuff. But getting back to the movie. Man, one of the other highlights for me was the new character, Jayla. The one with looked like a white tiger stripes, basically, man. She had, right off the bat, she had a cool weapon that made her have, her appear in different places and confuse the enemy very well.
Yeah, yeah. And that was actually played by Sophia Boutella, I think it's called.
Boutella. Let me tell you about that Boutella. That booty.
Yeah, he likes aliens.
Hey. And Sophia Boutella, she did a great job.
Yeah.
She
really did.
She reminded me of some actress throughout the movie, but I couldn't put my finger on who I was thinking of, but she was really good. I enjoyed her a lot. I hope to see her in the upcoming movies.
That's my little dog there.
Yeah. That's not one of the aliens that attacked Kirk.
That's one of the aliens.
That is one of the aliens that attacked Kirk.
I think he wants to be part of the show.
Okay,
this is actually one of the aliens that attacked Kirk.
Where's the phaser?
In the actual start of the movie.
Ah!
So yeah. We got him.
So yeah, the Star Trek Beyond, the story, was good.
Yes, it was.
It was good. I mean, nothing too out there. I liked how they investigated deep space a little bit. They went past a certain area that they couldn't get past before, it seemed like.
Yeah. And
so that was kind of cool. So that's the discovery. The story came back full circle in a way also. And it was solid. Any other things about the storyline, the plot, the script?
The best part, I think, for me was probably how they paid tribute to everybody.
Yeah.
I think that was great. And the thing is, I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it for everybody.
Yeah, I thought we were going to go into spoilers, but I guess not.
No.
And the acting we already pointed out on the acting was fabulous. The interaction between the actors was great. We loved that as well. The special effects, man. Let me tell you something about the special effects. They put me on even though we went to theater with the recliner seats, which was awesome, but some of the effects and what was going on in the movie put me at the edge of my seat, man. When there's a part where the spaceship, one of the Federation spaceships, it has to take off from cliff basically and has to dive down. And man, I was like, they're gonna be okay, man. But it's like when they have to hit engage right at the last second, I was on the edge of my seat, man. And the effects for that was out of this world.
Yes, it was. It was awesome.
I will say one thing, that even though effects were awesome throughout the movie, there's one part in the motorcycle scene.
Oh yeah,
where the motorcycle scene was awesome, and we saw that in the preview,
Yes.
in the trailer, so that's not too much of a spoiler. But there's one part where they're going, and it looked a little too CG for me.
Yeah, I know the part you're talking about.
Yeah, when they were going on the straight arm.
Yeah.
That was the one part that I was so on. The rest of it, though, the effects were awesome,
Yes.
and going forward with we talked a little bit before about going forward. Star Trek, the next one, the fourth one.
Oh, the next one, from what I hear, J.J. Abrams is coming back.
Yeah, we talked about that. We
Yeah.
talked about Thor.
Yeah, Thor. They're gonna have Kirk. Obviously, he's gonna run into his father somehow. You know how they always, J.J. Abrams is the master of playing with timelines.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna do it. He's gonna do his magic, basically.
Al, do you see anything from this movie and how they put some closure on the original Star Trek series of movies, and going forward to Star Trek 4, how it might play out?
I don't know how J.J. Abrams is going to play it out. The one thing is, I don't know if you did notice this, and this is not much of a spoiler, but this takes place at the end of the 3 years, which was the 3 seasons. If you think about it, the 3 seasons of Star Trek, and it was originally a 5-year mission. So right now, this is like, if you want to look at it that way, it's a different timeline. But if you want to look at it that way, it's like the end of the actual seasons of the original Star Trek.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know what? That's a great point, because I didn't make that correlation. They were on the 3rd year of their 5-year mission. They mentioned that. That's one of the first things they mentioned in the movie, man. And you pointed that out after the series ended after those 3 seasons, after the 3rd year or whatever. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And that's a good point to put out there. I think putting the closure on the old Star Trek going forward will be beneficial. I think they're gonna introduce, I think the J-Law character will be more involved.
I doubt that's the last time we're going to see.
Yeah, I think she's going to be too popular, just really good. And I think it's going to be kind of a going forward thing. And I think it's kind of showing that they're going to go forward with their own timeline too, with Kirk's dad coming into the fold. And I don't know how they're going to integrate that, but I think going forward they're going on their current path.
With J.J. Abrams, it can be anything. Any of us who saw all the seasons of Lost knows that there's just no way we can actually predict what's going to happen.
Well, yeah, definitely from Lost, yeah. And but anyway, we loved Star Trek Beyond,
yes.
And right now, like I told you guys, man, it's my favorite Star Trek movie. As of this moment, maybe Khan will get back in there, but right now, Beyond is where it's at, and so any
5 stars, definitely
5 stars on the Geekometer, the new Geekometer, just
invented,
right now, right here, and we got to play a little bit more, man, before we go off air, right?
Yeah,
so,
give me my face.
All right, to all you geeks, thanks for watching. We'll be back soon. You can catch us where?
RetroGeeksLive.com.
That's right. Thanks, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.